Hey guys, Dunkel here. Welcome back to another one of my videos. This one's going to be a Resto Druid pre-patch Shadowlands PvP. We're going to be doing a battle for Gilneas here. We're playing with our friend Snail from Snail's Gaming. He's the warlock in the group right now, so we're going to be playing with him, kind of pocket healing as we go through here. And I'll try to explain a little bit as I go. So basically, coming up to this first team fight, we're in our balance form. We're playing Moonkin form right now until people need healing. So basically, we're going to come in, we're going to put our dots up and do as much damage as we can with our balance affinity. And as people start to take damage, we just want to kind of heal them up, top them off. We do have tranquility if we need it. Like, we have big major cooldowns that we're sitting on right now, but we don't need anything. So we're just going to continue to stay in Moonkin form here, and we're just going to put out as much damage as we can. And we're clearly winning this team fight. They're dying like crazy, and none of our guys are really dropping fast at all. So we've clearly won this team fight. We're just going to finish doing a little bit more damage as Moonkin form here. We're going to spin this flag, which we've already done. We're going to head over to the next base. But before we do, we're going to take a look at the damage and see how much damage we've actually done here as Resto in this team fight. We're going to bring up the scoreboard and see what we did for actual damage here. It looks like we're second overall. So while we were checking the scoreboard to see how much damage we can actually do as a healer, they managed to take the mine from us. So we skip back here. We're going to fight over here for a little while. Looks like a big team fight coming up. There's 3 guys already here. We just need to make sure that our guys stay alive. As long as we can survive this, we had a lot more damage in the last team fight. So I'm not really too worried about killing the other team. I'm more concerned right now about keeping my team alive. So you can see me blanketing hots on everybody that I can. I'm going to throw up some wild growths and put a ring down on the ground for people to stand in. We're just going to make sure that we can keep anybody alive that we can and make sure that nobody really gets spiked down. Like this hunter that just walked out of range, he went a little too far out of range and there was really nothing we could do about it. But the basics here are basically, when there's a lot of AoE damage going out, you want to keep Life Bloom on yourself because of photosynthesis. It makes all of your heals do more healing, and it does it faster. But as soon as you recognize that the team fight is going into your favor, or your teammates are kind of topped off and the damage isn't really so bad, you can immediately switch into Boomkin form and continue helping your teammates kill the enemies. And again, of course, we left the waterworks and someone took it. This is the way Horde plays, apparently, which is pretty much every Gilneas. We almost always win, but we always lose waterworks, and we always lose the mine. So as we roll up to the team fight here, we kind of assess the situation, and we see that it's a pretty even team fight. I am the only healer over here, so I have to be a little bit more careful with my team. I have to make sure that I'm still keeping everybody alive, but I still want to also throw out some CCs or some added damage when necessary. So we are taking a little bit more damage than I'd like right here, but the damage we're taking really isn't that bad. It's pretty easy to heal through, so I'm going to grab this Berserker Hut, and instead of healing my teammates, I'm going to try to help them burst down the enemies and finish them off. This probably isn't the best thing to do for the team as a team player, but I joined this game with Snail, and my real main goal right now is to kind of keep him alive. It was a bit of a risky play. We only lost one person for a full team wipe on the other side, and we did get the node back. But as I said earlier, we're playing with Snail's Gaming. He is our warlock, and the name of the game right now is to keep Snail alive at all costs. Now we're going to mess with this Druid a little bit. We've got him in one Cyclone. Nobody's really noticed him yet, so we're going to Cyclone him again. He's pretty much the only one left, so now everyone sees him here, and they're all going to turn on him. So we're going to throw some roots on him to slow him down, make him shapeshift out of beer form to get out of here, and he's just going to pretty much instantly die. Now, there wasn't a whole lot going on at Waterworks. They saw us over there and they didn't want anything to do with it, so they keep going back and forth to mine. We're going to do a little bit of fighting on the road here. We're still with Snail. We're going to, do a little bit of damage. We're trying to cause a team fight right here, basically, is what's going on. But some of these guys don't really want anything to do with it. They're running right by and they're going toward the base over at the mine. So we're just going to run with these guys, make sure that the base is actually clear over there. There are some people fighting, so we want to make sure that they're not going to spin the flag on us again. So as we head over here, we can see that our other Resto Druid is taking heavy damage right now. It looks like he's about to die, and I'm pretty sure that's him up in the distance right there. And yes, it definitely is him, and he did just die. However, there's only 2 guys left, and they're not going to kill me at full health with cooldowns. So we're just going to stay in Moonkin form. We're going to finish these guys off with our teammates, and then we're going to see what's going on. So there wasn't really a whole lot going on. They haven't been able to attack anything, so we're just going to take this fight up onto the path. We're going to push these guys back up toward their base. They're kind of like shooting down at us from the hills, so it looks like they want to fight, but we have 2 nodes. This is actually beneficial for us to win the game. If we can keep them busy on the road, especially if it's enough of them, they really won't be able to push anything. They're not going to push through us, and if they try to flank the other base, there's too many of them here in the middle for them to really even do anything with it. So we're going to venture up this hill here in a second. We're going to see how many people we actually have up here. We have quite a few on our team, but it looks like there's quite a few enemies as well. So we're going to try to stay here and outlast everybody. We have this prop paladin who's taking a ton of damage, and he's still healing himself quite a bit as well. So we're going to keep him alive. For whatever reason, the enemies thought it was a great idea to focus the prop paladin. So we're just going to kind of sit back and laugh as they try to kill him, and they very well might. There's a lot of people here, so even if they do finally get this guy to drop, we're going to sit on a battle res right now, and they're going to put everything they have and everyone they have. The Druid just burned Tranquility. They're literally using all of their cooldowns right now. So if and when this paladin finally dies, we're going to immediately battle res him and hope that he takes it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. In the meantime, we're going to try to keep our dots on everybody and still help our team apply the pressure, but they are starting to burst the paladin now, and he doesn't have any hots on him, so it's going to be hard to save him. There's a pretty good chance he's probably going to go down right here, and he did. So we're going to get a battle res out right away and hope that he takes this. And he did. So they basically burned everything on this paladin. They finally kill him, and boom, he pops right back up, full health with a food buff. Well, I do finally realize that I'm healing in the back here, so they finally throw some CC on me, and they do actually almost kill Snail here. It was pretty close because I left him kind of stranded. As you can see, he's got no hots on him, and he's kind of on his own right now. But we're going to get some heals on him immediately, try to top him off and make sure the Snail doesn't die. We are running pretty low on mana here. We're almost at 20%, less than 20% now. So we're going to need to either try to get out of here, or we're going to need to have to drink soon. And if we can win the team fight, hopefully we can push down to the lighthouse and maybe take that over. The game's already... We got a pretty good lead during this whole fight because they haven't been able to push anything, and we've already had the 2 nodes. So if we can push through to this and force a spawn at the lighthouse, we can maybe switch it with waterworks for lighthouse and then have a, you know, kind of a bad situation. It's not really great to be over there unless you can stay alive long enough to actually defend it. But as we work on this fight and drink some mana here, I'll go over some of the gear. So what I'm running right now is basically all versatility and haste gear. I have versatility and haste on every single piece of gear that I have, except for trinkets. So for me, it may be a little different if your gear is different. If you're stacking mastery for dungeons or something like that, your healing throughput is probably going to be a bit higher, but my stats will be a bit tougher. Which is kind of nice, because if you get melee on you, if you get a death knight or something that grips you into a really bad position, the versatility can sometimes keep you alive. Like, there's a lot of things that hit you a lot less than they should, because you've got, you know, with 30% versatility, it's 15% damage reduction. As far as the talents go, we're running photosynthesis. I like to keep life bloom on myself most of the time. That way we can get some faster heals out on the people that we do have them on. And we're running Soul of the Forest. Now with Soul of the Forest, a lot of times I'll use my Swift Mend on a target, and depending on the situation, if it's like a really heavy burst, I'll use Swift Mend and I'll regrowth the same person for the big heavy heal. But for the majority of times, like in a situation that I'm in right now, if I was to Swift Mend someone right now, I would most likely use Wild Growth. At least that way I have a hot on each individual person, and the little bit of mastery I do have will make a little bit of a difference at that time. And someone has, you know, each and every person has a little bit of healing coming in. Under a heavy high burst situation where they're trying to kill someone like they were the paladin, I'll likely switch Life Bloom to the person and put all my hots on them with Swift Mend Regrowth or Swift Mend Reju. Whatever, you know, it's kind of situational, which is what I like about that talent. It gives you a lot of versatility with it to do certain things. If there's a lot of people around, then I use it on Wild Growth. Heavy damage, I use it on Regrowth. And if it's just heavy sustained damage but not a whole lot of burst, then I'll put it on Rejuvenation instead. So we've basically already taken over this base. We did do pretty much exactly what we thought was going to happen. We're taking over the lighthouse and they're taking the waterworks. So we're kind of making an even trade right here. And the thing is that now they don't have a graveyard. They're gonna have to spawn at the start of the match. And we already have enough people here where we can kind of tunnel them in there. We can stop them and block them from coming out. So now that we've finally taken over the lighthouse, or close to taking over the lighthouse, I'd like to take an opportunity to thank you guys for coming back again, checking these videos out. I'm still learning. This is my second video right now, so the program itself is a little bit different to me. I still have a lot to learn with it, so if I leave anything out of the videos, or if there's something you think I can work on, just leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think I can do that's better. give me some ideas of what to do next, things like that. I'd also like to take a second to thank Snail's Tail Gaming, which is Snail in here. He's the warlock that we're looking at right here. He's making some videos of his own. He's making warlock videos, mage videos, different specs on all these characters. And he's also in the process of leveling up each and every character to level 50. He wants to have a max level character. So if you guys want to check him out, show some love over there, feel free to check him out. I'll leave his link in the description below. Again, it's Snail's Tail Gaming if you want to check him out. And I did notice that I didn't show my talents at all in this video when I was making it, but you can see the talents above my damage meter in the bottom right corner. You can also see where about my stats are with the current gear that I have on. But if you have any questions about my spec or what, you know, my UI, anything like that, if you have any questions about any of that, just leave it in the comments below. I'll try to get back to you guys in a very timely manner. I'll try to keep an eye on it the best I can. Also, feel free, you can see the link down in the bottom left there. If you check it out, twitch.tv/DonkelTV. I mainly stream keys on stream. We don't really do a whole lot of PvP, maybe once in a while, but for the majority of the time we're streaming keys. If we're doing high keys, we have a group for that, but a lot of times during the week, probably 2 or 3 times a week, we will be giving away max level keys on stream. So feel free to check that out if you have an alt that needs some keys or something you just leveled up that needs some help with some gear. Swing by, feel free to check that out, come hang out with us. It's always a good time. So this game's just about over here. We never died. Snail never died. We did pretty well ourselves. We did have a couple people that we kind of let die so we could do some damage and kind of prioritize Snail over some other people, but that's just part of the game. It is a random battleground. It doesn't really count for much right now, but as this game comes to an end, we're kind of taunting these guys in their own graveyard here. We don't really show any mercy for these guys at all. They don't have hardly any health, and we're just going to destroy these guys as we wait for the game to end here. We'll pull up the scoreboard here. We'll compare our damage, see what we had. So we were 3rd on Horde overall, and obviously healing done, we were most likely 1st. Let's check it out. Yeah, by a long shot. And that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for coming by. Leave some comments, and I'll see you in the next one.